Before we get going, let's do some math.
It's not fair.
I'm sorry, Donnie. I promised there would be no math, but these numbers are important. The return of Jimmy Kimmel was unbelievable, record-setting.
Huge, absolutely huge.
But here's the question. Was Kimmel's return a canary in a coal mine for Trump and MAGA? You know what that means, right? Miners used to take canaries down in the mines, and if the canary died, it meant the air was unsafe. Well, in this scenario, Trump is the bird, and MAGA, deep down in the mines with manatees, has to ask itself, how bad is it?
What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at YouTube views, Jimmy Kimmel Live video views. The 6-month median, the median video only gets 240,000. Look how many views Tuesday night's monologue already has. 6.7 million. That's over 25 times as large as the median Jimmy Kimmel video normally gets. And I was looking, it is by far the largest video in at least 6 months. So if Donald Trump's idea was to give Jimmy Kimmel more press and more viewership, he absolutely did so. Of course, I don't think that is what Donald Trump intended to do.
Do you have any sense beyond YouTube of just how big his appeal may have been? Like, a lot of people wanted to clearly watch this from all facets of not just in America, but you know, this is from around the world.
That's exactly right. So we got this 6.7 million. I will note that that number is up already about 700,000 from the last time I checked, which was about an hour ago. But take a look here. Record high Google searches last night for what time is Jimmy Kimmel on? You wouldn't have to check what time Jimmy Kimmel was on if you were a regular viewer. The reason that people were checking what time Jimmy Kimmel was on, because he was potentially pulling in a lot of viewers who normally didn't watch. And get this, it was up over 10,000%. My goodness gracious. This, of course, dates all the way back since 2004, basically since Jimmy Kimmel was first on the air. So no, it was not just on YouTube. There was a ton of interest, what we're talking about nationwide, worldwide, in terms of what time was Jimmy Kimmel on, because I don't normally watch him, but maybe I want to take a gander because maybe I'm interested to hear what he has to say.
Jimmy Kimmel himself sort of said, look, when Disney did this, I went to them, I didn't like it, but he also said thank you to Disney for keeping his show on. Is there any indication that Disney has something to be happy for? He even plugged, go to Disney Plus, here's how to, you know, as a joke, but here's how to like re-up your subscription.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of people, especially on the left, who are upset at Disney for suspending Jimmy Kimmel. And we saw Google searches last week for boycotting Disney and canceling Disney Plus go way up. But take a look here. Google searches versus last week's peak. Boycotting Disney, down about 75% as of last night. How about cancel Disney Plus? Down about 75% from its peak. So the bottom line is this was great for Jimmy Kimmel in terms of what we see so far on YouTube. It's probably going to translate to the ratings. And also Jimmy Kimmel's return is good for Disney because all of a sudden people aren't so interested in boycotting them or canceling their Disney Plus subscription. So it ends up being pretty decent for Disney's bottom line, bringing Jimmy Kimmel back to the stage.
Now, let's look at these numbers another way. Trump had 77 million people who voted for him. Biden had 75. But there are about 230 million eligible voters. And the 80 million plus who didn't vote, polling shows that 87% wouldn't have voted for Trump or any MAGA candidate. And the polls now indicate these independent voters are 3 times more likely to vote in the 2026 midterms rather than the 2024 election. Now, that's bad news. But why the sudden shift? Duh. Trump's 2025 attacks on U.S. citizens is sticking, and that makes total sense. I mean, Ted Cruz finally found the nutsack and stood up for Kimmel and up to Trump. But it wasn't ideological. While his home state of Texas may redistrict some seats in the House, the Senate has no such thing. It's a straight-up vote, and Cruz's numbers are down. But back to Kimmel.
And I am a tiny part of the Disney Corporation. They welcomed me back on the air, and I thank them for that. Unfortunately, and I think unjustly, this puts them at risk. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
So Pouty Fuckwinkle tweeted this after Kimmel's triumphant return.
I can't believe ABC Fake News gave Jimmy Kimmel the job back. The White House was told by ABC his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who's done so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts a network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He is yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be another major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings.
Okay, that's one mentally ill motherfucker. But there is no surprise here. Two things. Trump is violating the very core of the Bill of Rights. Now, most people only know the first two of the 10 amendments to the Constitution called the Bill of Rights. And even the people who should know them apparently don't.
What are the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment?
Speech, religion, press, assembly. Speech, press, religion, assembly. I don't know. What am I missing?
Redress or protest.
Okay.
So here's what's happening right now. If you embrace the First Amendment too passionately, Trump will threaten you with the Second.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. If she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
And while most Americans don't remember that threat to Hillary's life, they're paying attention now.
First of all, I definitely don't think that the government should be involved ever in dictating what a comedian can or cannot say in a monologue. That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
Now, if the problem is the companies, if they're being pressured by the government, so if that's real, and if people on the right are like, yeah, go get them, oh my God, you're crazy. You're crazy for supporting this. Because this will be used on you.
See, in America, there are 2 rules in politics. Don't fuck with comedians because you'll lose every time.
Here in New York, the city that never sleeps unless you're Donald Trump in a courtroom.
So far, the only thing that can keep him awake is an iPad playing Bluey. He's like, all right,
I've seen this one. Multiple reports said Trump's head drooped until his chin hit his chest. The Trump campaign also pushed back on reports that he fell asleep in court yesterday. They said that was fake news. He's very sleepy. Is it possible his lawyers are tranquilizing him? If Biden is Sleepy Joe, I guess that makes you Dozo the Clown. Sleepy Gonzalez, Donnie Appleseed, Snoozin' B. Anthony, Ebenezer Snooze napped in America. Speaking of sleepy, Donald Trump, I guess Teddy Roosevelt is tired from all the winning.
Hibernating bears don't sleep this much. I'm starting to think when they say he slept with a porn star, they meant literally.
And the second rule in America is leave the children alone.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
So these big numbers for Kimmel pose a difficult question for Trump. Can he not afford to violate the basic tenets of the Constitution by attacking more U.S. citizens so we fight back and he can declare martial law? Or can he just ignore Democratic Congress and keep signing executive orders? Well, to me, the answer is obvious. If Republicans get their asses handed to them in the midterms in 2026, and as I said, a 20 to 40 person swing to the Democrats isn't out of the question, would Trump even allow that? Or the bigger question is, what will Republicans finally do when middle America says, fuck you, you sociopathic pedophile? We want change. But that change isn't because of Trump's racist, misogynistic, and homophobic shit. It's because of Jeffrey Epstein.
Plus, the breaking news tonight, Democrats securing the final push they need to force a vote on the release of the Epstein files, as Democrat Adelita Grijalva wins the special election in Arizona's 7th congressional district.
This is, from the beat, the special look at that accumulated bile from these MAGA voices.
Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
We're all on stage demanding the release of the Epstein client list.
It is Trump and it is his advisors that have gone with this narrative of him just saying, forget about it, move along.
It's the way they've handled the scandal has been so bad, leading everybody up to the water's edge and then not giving anyone a drink.
Completely agree. This is self-inflicted.
Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand him. I don't.
His giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally.
We're getting flooded with thousands, hundreds of thousands of comments that are very unhappy about this. President Trump was elected primarily to go after the deep state. We want to go after the deep state.
It seems like you think your base is stupid. That's how I feel. I feel like Trump thinks his base is stupid.
And then they're kicking students out that write articles they don't like.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't a university supposed to be a place where someone's allowed to express themselves and have
non-violently?
Yeah. Deporting people because you don't like who they're
Right.
criticizing, like that gets kind of shifty. You got to get scared that people who are not criminals are getting like lassoed up and deported. It's horrific.
I don't know how many of you guys are invested in crypto or stocks. What the is going on with our country? Guys, why am I poor?
Everything's in the shitter because of it. I'm down $7 million in stocks and crypto. Maybe don't be on the golf course.
3 times I voted for this man. This is by far the biggest fumble of the administration they've had thus far.
It's indefensible. It's indefensible that the answers aren't there when so much was promised.
The current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes, very serious crimes.
Her days are numbered as a member of the Trump administration.
Pam Bondi needs to go at a minimum.
Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Who is rolling this out? The little rascals?
It's very upsetting. It's extremely upsetting.
There is something there, and it's being covered up, and the president blessed it.
We have flight logs. We have information, names that will come out.
Don't tell us all this stuff's coming out and the investigation's massive and that Trump wants it released and then say, oh, there's nothing there.
This stinks. This just reeks.
So I'm going to go throw up, actually.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
This seems like unforgivable behavior.
For them to do something like this tears my guts out.
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you...
MAGA has been calling for the release of the files for months, and it's now occurring to them, that there's something going on and it doesn't resemble the truth. So the triumphant return of Jimmy Kimmel is confusing Fox's little boys. What do we do now? It was and it wasn't a business decision. Kimmel makes a lot of money for ABC. Could ABC be fearful that Trump will attack them financially, using the FCC to block necessary moves? That could happen. But here's what else is happening, and it's really simple. Republicans were willing to put up with the first MAGA, but MAGA 2.0 is an attack on the Constitution, and it's also destroying the economy. The tariffs are fueling inflation with unemployment numbers creeping up, and with Trump's attack on the rest of the world, there's a growing reluctance for them to put up with this shit.
Your country is going to fail. And I'm really good at predicting things, you know. They actually said during the campaign they had a hat, the best-selling hat. Trump was right about everything. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way, but it's true. I've been right about everything.
In the end, however, it's Trump the pedophile that frightens what's left of the GOP. And America may be a lot of things, but we're not this.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that. But
It's sitting on my desk.
Goddamn right.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
Smart people don't like me.
We will absolutely target you.
Do you have no shame?
Are you not entertained?
Who are you talking to?
I could be a stupid person.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm sorry, man.
You're a nasty person. It's not fair. I couldn't care less. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.